got a really great show for everybody today, Lukey. Fantastic. All about copper. It's the root of anemia. That's right. Skin disease, diabetes, and it's chronic toxicity. Yes? Really, what's the challenge where this is? Well, it's really a copper excess, and that's been depositing in the tissue, you see. And it's been blocking iron, yes, from you being able to make blood. It's been collapsing an amino acid, tyrosine, you see. And that's a ligand and that transports histamine. And you must have this wet, dry regulation and whole life food, which gives you the capacity to be able to carry copper. And what happens where that's not so? Well, you see skin boils, cystic fibrotic types of conditions, and the fluid thickened more, and respiration not working as well. And you see a bit of a yellowing in the skin and bile stone and stagnant copper loading in the liver. And the pancreas and blood, you've got to have about 143 parts, which would be maybe normal, but it could just go up to 1,400 parts because of a chemtrail, you see, and the fallout of this. So what happens where you've got excess heavy metal copper also with that, and aluminium oxide, and it's hitting all of those beta cells and endocrine signaling, yes? And glucose transport. You've got a calcium pump where you've got the myocardium, and a metabolic picture really is forming, of course, which really isn't deficiency. No, it's untransported, unexcreted, extraneous life cord, where copper poisonous is from the body and from inside, you see, out. So, what's the reaction really is that you've got this amino acid wetness and histamine, you've got phenylalanine and tyrosine, and these all getting broken down. And so how do you make a cerulear plasmin, which is what's supposed to bind to copper? It leaves it just free and reactive and oxidizing where the tissue is and shutting down iron usage and forming anemia. And this is really because of lack of iron in the blood. But it's copper blocking iron, you see. And so biliary stasis, where stone is, and pancreatic condition, and cystic fibrotic condition, it's really a heavy metal, cocktail. And so what happens when you've got that? Then you're just eating, let's say, plant-based, you're cashew, chocolate, shiitake, sunflower seed and butter, pumpkin seeds and things, and you're using a cookware which is not too good, and there's a lot of copper in the pipes, and you've got skyfall out, and all of that loaded aluminium really isn't that sort of a diabetes type 1 and type 2? Yes. It's not unique. It's the beta cells inhibited and glucagon and insulin not really expressed, isn't it? And so the glucose transporter, all of that blocked, and what happens? You've got pancreatic inflammation and calcium, and the pump, which you've got, really drops down and not functioned, and you've got calmodulin that really becomes reduced, and diabetic picture really has emerged where heavy metal wetness comes to be of an autoimmune type sort of a mystery, which when we tune into this show, that's the longer show that's coming up. Of course, what's innovative really is that how life food restores the life colloid transport, where you're really restoring the bile and you're clearing away the stone. And so you're restoring even more of that wetness and the regulation which is existing. And that's restoring the copper binding the protein, yes? So surplus of all of that gets moved out of the gastrointestinal tract instead of being deposited in the skin. And so life food stops all of that stone and the cystic fibrotic condition of the fluids, and it really stops all the copper that's remaining free, and you have a hydration where you've got a living enzyme. And so the sweat pathway, and you've got, all of this non-denatured amino acid that assists to help histamine bring back balance, and iron and process it, and that's where the beta function is for the pancreas. So you're shifting the whole picture and you're managing diabetes, you're dissolving the underlying heavy metal retention where that is, you're understanding that the life colloid where all is understanding how the body is protecting itself, yes, and copper really gets carried around where it should, and whole body metabolic field really has itself correcting. Anyway, click the button and go to the longer version of what this is. Otherwise, maybe go to jumpdavid.com and you'd love to make an appointment. Anyway, love you guys and catch up to you.